Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to When Pigs Fly. A big, big welcome to all of our new subscribers. Thank you so much for loving it and sharing it with those whom are ready to receive it. And good morning, Tracy and Renee.
Morning.
All right, so we are following the energy here, and today we're going to talk about something that really, really all of us cannot hear this message enough. And this is, how do we have these uncomfortable conversations that we're having to have in order to let things go, right? Some of you I know, are doing deep forgiveness work. I've seen that. Um, Others are confused about very close relationships. And so we're going to talk about not only how do you hold your power in an uncomfortable conversation? And then also being ready to accept that the dynamics of some of the relationships that you're in are changing. So there we go. So Tracy, would you like to kick this one off? You had an interesting download about this, so I'd love for you to start.
Yeah, well, so I think you hit two of the great components that if you just are aware of them and accept them, it makes everything more easy, maybe. And I would say expect all relationships to change. So if it's an expectation, you are, ready for it. It might still be a little uncomfortable or challenging, but at least if you know it's coming and you know it's happening and you actually, I'm going to dare say it is for the good. Even though it might in the moment seem uncomfortable or confusing or whatever word, I am going to say that it's for the good because all the energies are changing, all the dynamics of how we do life are changing. So we have to change. It's inevitable. So if you expect it, then you are a little more prepared and a little more willing and allowing. So for me, I'm just going to say I have had so many uncomfortable conversations in the past couple weeks, and I'm kind of having an inner dialogue with my guides, myself, my intelligence of like, I don't want to do that. That's uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't want to say it. Don't make me. While I simultaneously ask for a kind of a nice stream of intelligence that is infused with compassion and love, even though it does come out as very direct, because I've kind of questioned and self-reflected conversation, with the higher intelligence of, hey, that didn't feel very compassionate to me. That didn't feel very loving, and was reminded, no, it was, because so funny, time is of the essence, because time is elusive, but time is of the essence. So that's a little bit of a conundrum to wrap your head around. But I'm on the let's go. It's kind of on the we're getting this done. We're doing it. We, all of us and everyone watching, we are in the forefront. We are the way showers. We are all the words. So it is kind of our job and duty to lead the way, to pave the path, to have the difficult conversation because we can, because we do have the ability, and we know that it is from a base of compassion and love, even though it comes out maybe with very direct words and a bit of a stern, I'm going to use the word stern energy, but it's not stern. It's just, it's so
It's
laser
truth. It's
cute.
truth.
But most people think truth has to be primarily compassionate and loving, but we forget that truth can sometimes be direct and exact, but it is still, and I think that's huge to have an awareness of right now,
Mm-hmm.
because love is great and compassion is great, but not if we're not at the expense of getting the job done. And I'm kind of using, kind of, you know,
Yeah.
language that's kind of direct, like business language, like we got to get the job done. So let's dig in. Let's, where we're coming from. and let the words flow out. And like I said, kind of expect the uncomfortability of it, and then hold yourself in that stable energy of allowing the things to correct around you, because they will. So hold that stable field of, okay, this might be a little wobbly for everybody, but I'm going to stay
Yeah.
strong and stable and hold the field while they wobble.
Yeah. Just like Remy is. I love it that Remy is our magical spirit animal here, guys. So Remy's like, I can hold space like nobody's business. Watch me.
And did you notice we've been talking pre-recording and nowhere to be found? Hit
She's
record. Here she is.
she's like, oh, it's time. So
So
here's what I was hearing when you were saying that. First of all, did I cut you off, or were you good right now where you were at?
no, 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 no. That's it. Yeah,
Okay.
just holding. Yeah.
So here's what came into me while you were saying that. And this can help. So sometimes remember, we have access to a higher perspective. That's what consciousness is. That's what ascension is, right? We have a greater awareness. In many situations, your soul, you have soul agreements with certain characters that are in your field. Some of those soul agreements are complete and shifting. So play with that, play with that energy that so instead of thinking my human's blowing up, just remember that we are light and love focused into a body, having a human experience. And sometimes it is, especially if you're dealing with, if it's a painful situation, go, okay, wait a minute. This is happening. And that is where when it came in, Tracy, when you said it's in your best and highest good, the human sometimes can't go, how is this good? It feels like shit. But your soul is going, okay, perfect. This is exactly where you're meant to be. And this is also exactly where their soul is meant to be. We're always exactly where we're meant to be, and we receive what we're capable of receiving in that moment. So I hope that makes sense. But Renee, you got something I can tell.
Yep, yeah, that makes perfect sense. And I sort of want to double down, Tracy, you were actually I can't double down, it's completely gone right now. Like I hate when I don't write things down. Because when you were saying it, I'm like, yes. And then they're like, double down on that. I'm like, okay, bring it back. But anyway, so I'll go on to the next thing, and if they bring it, I'll be good. But this whole expansion, like Tracy, when you were saying like Tracy's the perfect person because she's dealing with so many relationships. And when we're talking about relationships breaking down, it is not just the, husband, wife, 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 husband, husband. It's not any of that. It is every single person that is in your consciousness, period. So it's that whole aspect. But we have really had this huge expansion in our energy field. And the way, I see it is everything like coming in, like all versions of you coming in. Like I can't begin to tell you, I don't remember lately, am I having a conversation here in life? And is it something that I had in a dream because it was there? Is it something that a conversation I was having here? Like everything is sort of merging together. So, a lot of times I'll say to people like, did we say this before? Did I tell you this? Like, because I'm not really sure. Like everything's happening. And remember, we've said this before, everything that we've gone through, we've already gone through. Everything we're going through, rather, we've already gone through. It's already been done. So we're really sort of tapping back in. So now as all parts are coming together as one, our whole vibration is coming in. And Tracy, you had said like that laser focus that's coming in, and the way you have to say things. And I know we had talked, off camera on this, that it comes in like so strong. It's like if you wanted to say something not so laser focused, you want to sort of skirt around everything. Number one, we can't anymore. That shit's going to come out of your mouth whether you like it or not. That is going to be like, okay, here you go. This is what you need to say. And what really is very interesting, when that other person or people or whatever are hearing that, recognize and know that if you're saying it because they're in a place to start to hear the truth. We've said this before, everything is breaking down. Look at the world and what's happening. Truths are coming out. That's what this is. In all those truths coming forward, yeah, it's not going to be easy. People are going to be blown up and be like, what's happening here? Like, I don't even understand, because you want the control, and we don't have control of that aspect. And Tracy, what is it you said off thing about the control?
Yeah. It was in one of your books,
It was so perfect.
right?
We are the creator of everything and control nothing.
Yeah,
Which,
wrap your head around that, people.
yeah.
Right? Because it is, and that's the thing, like when you're speaking these truths, not only are we beginning to, not beginning, we already are, but for lack of a better way in the human words, we're beginning to revibrate with every aspect. And it's coming in that laser focus, and everything is coming together as one. And Tracy, I'll double down on what you said, is like, you know, you're gonna be here, and then as the vibration of everybody else is here, I hope we said that on camera.
Don't worry, if not, they're getting it out.
Exactly. Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm all over the place today. So, you know, it's that point of like, you know, we're being laser focused, and everybody else's energy that Tracy had said, either on or off camera, is, you know, being here. And they're either coming into your field or they're not. And what you have to remember, and this is coming through very clear, is it is not up to us to figure out what everybody else's path is. Everybody else is getting to that same vibration in the manner that they need to get it to. So, and I've had a couple clients, you know, a couple weeks ago ask that, well, how do I get so and so to come and see you? And so my brother or my sister or my this or my that, because they need you. I'm like, no, they don't. Like, they have their own path. You just send them that love, hold that space for them that you're in. They're getting there in a whole different way. So it's that aspect of us now beginning to really see everybody and everything as another version of us. And the truths are here. Everything's breaking down and everything is coming up anew. The expansion, the energy field, the visual I always get is like all parts coming together, and then everything like boom,
And then
expanding
it
out in
blossoms.
such a big way. Like, it's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
Right.
I love that. I love that. So yeah, and we're restoring our own original blueprint. Gaia is restoring her own original. Oh, and that's the other piece. Um, that and Tracy, by the way, when Remy went by, you know that song on the catwalk? That's what came in. That came in. I had to say that. But you know, in coming into alignment, that is when we come into stillness and full alignment, that is the point where we expand and jump forward at crazy speeds. And we've already expanded and moved forward faster than was anticipated. Like it was immeasurable, and more people have awakened quicker than was anticipated. So that momentum is creating, it's like its own energy wave. And so this is why what we're calling holding your space, and like we're getting the guidance you're getting is non-negotiable, is what it's like you can't be a little small. You can't be a little small anymore. It's no, and it can, and here's how I look at it, and this is where you can still have compassion, even though sometimes it may not present that way, but knowing that the in that moment, it's their current perception that's causing the contrast. And as you gain higher levels of consciousness, your perception increases. And that's the alignment that happens. It's that, you're looking through one lens and they're looking through another lens. And so all you need to do is have compassion that, oh gosh, this is just their current perception. So it can help you like not get dirty in the details too much. And as far as holding your own space in that moment, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. Go ahead, Trace. What do you say?
So, because this is kind of a complex thing that we talked a little bit off air of, it's almost as if there's so many people that are honest to God living out different realities because they have a different perspective. They're viewing it from a different lens. So I'm having a lot of situations where there'll be 5 people involved and every single one of them has a different version. And then, I'm like, well, wait a minute. Where's the truth? Because you all can't have 5 different versions, because how do we discern truth? Right. But it's an interesting take that, well, maybe they are all at their version of the truth, which most of them are very distorted, because I would like to think, I have to kind of hone in and go, okay, show me the truth that is based in wholeness and love. And because this is a big conversation, there's a lot of foundational elements that are being broken down, that fundamental truths that we thought we knew, they are not true. So they're, science, a lot of science is being, it's not true. A lot of the mechanisms that we define how the world works, they're breaking down. So people are in old foundational truth, that is their truth. And if you're here, we know we're moving on, we're moving up, whatever word you want to say. So we are seeing it through a new version of truth. So it's challenging. There is no doubt about it. It's fascinating. It's challenging, but to kind of ride this wild roller coaster while we dismantle and figure out how to go forward and behave and be rooted in a reality based on these new energies. I kind of went way off track, but it's super cool.
No, it's not off track.
My Cliff Note version is, if you expect this, you're not in a situation being like, oh my God, they're totally lying. What's their problem? It's like, ooh, wow, okay. I see where they're deriving their truth. How do I have a conversation? Like, how do we relate anymore? Because they're in a totally different playbook than I am. So how do we have a conversation and take a next step forward? I don't really have the answer. That's why I love these fascinating conversations. So I think awareness is key and cool of we're here, like we're living it, breathing it, and it's awesome. And I have the pleasure and I don't know, of, like Renee said, I deal with a lot of people every day. So woo, I'm in the test tube of what it looks like. But I would say, make it fascinating. Try not to get frustrated. I'm speaking from my own experience. I try not to have frustration. I try and turn it into fascination, especially with it, if it's with loved ones, if it is with your spouse, if it's with your children, if it's with people, everyone is changing. Relationship dynamics are changing. So it's fascinating, and frustrating, but it's all good. It's all good.
But I think you have the answer to that question, though, when you're like, I don't know how to have those conversations when everybody's doing this. You said it, because you said, show me the truth. And, that's what, the healers and everybody were saying. Like, if you are continually in that place of show me the truth, number one, I'm gonna double down on what you said, Tracy. Everything that you thought to be the truth, you've got to be open to letting that all go. Because when you're saying, show me the truth, and I know you say that a lot, Tracy, and you are always getting hit with stuff. So it's that aspect of show me the truth and be willing to really look at it and say, oh, okay, I got to have this hard conversation. It's only a hard, they're saying it's only a hard conversation because we're stuck in the human field of judgment and how somebody's, it's almost, they're not saying fear. It's like, I feel this other sort of energy. It's this little concern that, oh my God, how are they going to, I need this person. Like if it's for work, or I need this person in the relationship, or I need this person, to do whatever. It's this little concern of, if I say this and I come through with this truth and I'm not sugarcoating it like I had for many, many years, what's going to happen? Are they going to leave? And they're saying, if these people leave your field, what you're doing is, and our listeners all know this, we're not saying anything, we're just sort of reverberating or whatever, but nonetheless, they're saying you are now opening that expansion for those of this new energy field and who and what you are. They're saying, just like, and this is probably a whole different conversation, but just like healing, like, our listeners, most of you are healers. Well, actually, they're saying everybody's a healer. It's a matter of you choosing to go into that field or not. And even the healing way, that's all changing. That's all shifting. The way we used to do things, that's not the way it's coming in. Like, I've seen the visuals of just sitting there looking at somebody and watching everything change within them, because you're coming from such a beautiful place. And, Courtney talked about this, and, Tracy, you had said some things when Courtney was on last Friday. And it was that whole aspect of, you've got that internal tone in there. When you're holding that space and you've got your internal tone that is vibrating through every aspect of you, that is allowing that person to hold into their space and if they haven't activated that internal tone within, that's allowing them to activate it as well. That's then going to vibrate the two together. Or you're going to notice in pure love that you both sort of have that thing of like, yep, it's time to part ways with love, not all this stuff that you used to see of the anger and the fights and all of that stuff. It is just with pure love. This is really a time for us to hold the space of our own energy, our whole field, our vibration, the vibrational tone that we hold within that, Tracy had spoke about. I think, when Courtney was on, or hopefully you talked about it here, some point you talked about it. So this whole aspect of listening to that whole component and allowing that, it's not only going to shift that relationship, it's shifting the whole energy field around you. Like, how freaking awesome is that? And being open, they're saying, to allowing your system to recognize, I'm walking by somebody and I'm very aware that this energy is going through and it's helping their system clear, and not be like, oh my God, I'm, my energy is going, I'm drained. No, that's old stuff. That's old, old crap. That's not the way it is. So just be open to allow the stuff to come in, to feel it. If you recognize you're in worry or in fear or whatever it is, own it.
Yeah.
Own it. And just say, look at, okay, this is my truth, or this is the truth, because our truth, they're saying, is not the truth. A lot of us are in this human field, but we're all in the human field. But a lot of us still have some of those human beliefs we're trying to hold on to as a way of comfort. And the saying, comfort's gone. Like, sorry, comfort's gone. But if you embrace the truth, you're going to feel so much more comfortable in the space of nothingness that you will be amazed at.
Mm-hmm.
Hope that makes sense.
It totally does. My guides brought in when you were saying that, stop trying to be normal. Stop trying to be normal. Whatever because that was really keeping everybody stuck.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, that authenticity, and what are you focusing on? And are you being authentic in every situation? And when you are, there's no, in the old, I want to say like in the 3D or lower, there's so much guilt and shame sometimes in just separating relationships, right? Or just, and it's not even a separation. The truth of it is, when you look at the big overall experience, is you're flowing. We're not used to flowing. What were we taught? Get one job, marry one person, do one, and your soul is crying inside for you to move forward. And it's so now in this new dimension that we're in, and we're already accessing, by the way, higher dimensions. We already have access to set for the 7th to the 12th dimension now. And those are exactly kind of what Renee was just talking about, where telepathy is normal. Someone can pass you and you go, oh, okay. Boom. And it's an energy exchange that doesn't even involve words. Like what we're doing now is an energy exchange. If you didn't listen to one of our words and just put this on, you're still receiving it. You're receiving it on an energetic level. And so that's really what's happening now. That's what that's what we're playing out. And just, whatever we thought, oh, that's not normally how we react, like start to detach from normal and then just say, what's my truth? What's my truth? What's my truth? And you can tell, like, and if you're always in doubt, look in the mirror and say, is this my truth? And you feel it. We must go to the heart. We must go to the heart. The second you're in your head, you are now going back to what we call the history files. The history files are gone, done, complete. They're complete. And so it's what am I creating in this moment? What's my desire? Your soul drops your desires in, and then your job is to have fun and create and act on them. And then it's a process to trust your truth. but you practice it, the trust it starts with faith, then you get to trust. And I can tell you, you get to knowing. You absolutely know when something's your truth. You know it. It's unquestionable. And I've already experienced that. So and it took practice to get there, but now it's like, oh wow, I absolutely know it's choiceless. Like I absolutely know this is my next step. And you just go do it.
Go ahead, Trace.
I just have a fun little thing to say, and it went back to what you said in the beginning about retrieving different versions of ourselves. Anyway, I wrote the note down because this happened to me yesterday and I was laughing. I was put on a necklace and it reminded me of when I got it, which was years ago. And then I went and looked at the picture and I was looking at myself in the eyes and it was kind of like, oh, shit, I want that back. Like going back to myself when I was in my 20s. So it was this weirdest thing of almost, you say there's no history files, but we're also bringing in some fractals of ourself, and I feel like right now I just claim for myself, I'm a walking contradiction in every conversation because there is no history files, but I'm bringing that back in from the history files. Right. So it's funny. It's a fun exercise. Go look at an old picture of yourself and just stare yourself in the eyes and see what pops up. Because I was like, holy shit. All right. Yeah. I want that. And I want that. And I want that back in my life, in my
Yeah.
being. So anyway, fun little
Oh,
thing.
it makes sense though. In that now moment, you're just accessing a parallel. Everything happens in the now moment. I know this is the time thing. Linear time throws us all off base, right? But these are all parallel realities that really all exist in the now moment. So it makes sense to go in there. That sounds like a fun thing to try out. I love it.
Yeah, because you're tapping into the whole energy aspect and really the parts, what the healers are saying is the parts of us, they're all still within us. Okay. And what happened was, as we go through life, we're just sort of pushing them back. So what Tracy was doing was, okay, I want that. So it was like, oh, okay, I can come back up to the forefront and, be within the whole field. And they're saying that, and, this is, probably a further conversation, but it's that whole aspect of, aging and all this stuff. They said there was not aging, many, many centuries ago. So they said the human form, we've created all sickness. We've created aging, we've created all of the stuff that you think happens as we, get older. So they're saying, so, right, what we're now dropping into is, and they're saying dropping into you, okay, into every aspect of us that is within, and we're bringing that all forward. And in that bringing forward, well, of course we're young. Of course we have this look and we don't have wrinkles and we don't have this, we don't have that. They're saying it's just the human thought form, which is, two different history things they're saying. Like when you were saying the history files of the fear, the lack, all this stuff,
Right.
which honestly is gone. So we can't even really talk to that anymore. But it's the history files of like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, this is the freaking awesome piece of me. Let's bring her back up, or let's bring him back up. And what does he want to do? And how much fun can we
Yeah.
have? Because let's be honest, a lot of us got stuck in the human field of you've got to make money and you've got to do this and you got to pay your bills and you got to do like all of life stuff. But we took it serious. We got out of that field of, although it's fun, it's joyous. Of course, money just always flows to me. Of course, everything that I want is mine. Like, why wouldn't it be? That's our birthright, right? So it's getting back into that point because it's all right here. You have to resonate with it now. And
Yeah.
that's what this energy is. It's this great resonance is what they're calling it.
Yeah. And I was just going to say, you can resonate. You're resonating with that state of being you were in. You can look at it and go, that was fun. You're resonating with the state of being. And so when I refer to the history files, it's the old operating system. So if you were using 3D tactics, those will not. So, I know one of the consciousness that is clearing now is I've tried everything and nothing's working.
Mhm.
That is, it was actually a false consciousness that's being cleared. And so it's right. But I love this. That's fun because we love these parallel reality games, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's what I was trying to express. Like, let's say you looked at a picture of yourself that you were going through a really hard time. there are components, like that's my point. It's all been deconstructed. So cherry pick what was truth, and the rest doesn't even exist anymore. So it's not a set thing. It's go back and watch Bill's thing about the depixelated, like every moment in time, which is all right now, is a bazillion varieties of what is. So create the ones that are, and the rest don't really exist anymore anyway. So
Yeah. Cool stuff. I know
know.
this makes the noodle rattle around, doesn't it? The noodle's no longer involved in your journey. It's getting upgraded and has a new job moving forward. So, wow, that flew by. Thank you, thank you. And again, thank you and welcome to all our new listeners. Please like, subscribe, share with those whom you feel are ready to receive these amazing energetic transmissions. Love all of you, and I'll see you ladies next episode.
Bye.
Bye.